My son told me I was too ugly to attend his wedding. My daughter-in-law nodded in agreement, saying my presence would ruin their perfect day. What they didn't realize was that while they saw a dying old woman, I was quietly sitting on a fortune worth millions. The day they decided to erase me from their lives, I made sure they'd remember me forever. But let me start from the beginning, because this story gets so much better. I chose my outfit carefully that morning, my dusty rose cardigan with the mother-of-pearl buttons that Danny used to fidget with during church sermons when he was small. I even wore the delicate gold bracelet he'd saved up for with his paper route money at 14. Standing in front of my bedroom mirror, I tried to see myself through his eyes. The chemotherapy had taken my hair, leaving me thin and pale under my silk headscarf. But I was still his mother. I thought that still counted for something. Danny arrived without calling first, typical of him these days. All designer cologne and expensive confidence. He didn't notice the fresh flowers I'd arranged or the homemade lemon bars cooling on the counter, his childhood favorite. He perched on the edge of my love seat, like he was late for something more important. I was pouring tea when he dropped the bomb. "Mum, we think it's best if you skip the ceremony." He said it so casually, like he was suggesting I skip the grocery store. My hand froze on the teapot handle. "What do you mean, sweetheart?" I asked, though my heart was already sinking. He adjusted his silk tie, probably cost more than my monthly medication. "Look, it's going to be very upscale, very polished. Stephanie and I want everything to be flawless for the photographers." I felt something cold settle in my chest. "You don't want your mother in your wedding pictures." He shifted uncomfortably. "It's not personal, Mum. It's just the headscarf, the weight loss, the way you've been coughing lately. Some of the guests might find it uncomfortable." Uncomfortable. That word hit me like a physical blow. So I'd become an embarrassment, something to hide away. "Danny," I whispered, "I raised you alone. I worked 3 jobs so you could have everything you wanted. Surely I can sit quietly in the back." That's when she walked in. Stephanie, tall, cold, beautiful in that magazine perfect way. She surveyed my living room like she was inspecting a crime scene. "Oh, this is where you grew up," she said, not bothering to hide her distaste. "Stephanie, this is my mother," Danny said weakly. She barely glanced at me. "Right. We've discussed this, haven't we, babe?" Her voice was ice-cold politeness. "The venue has very specific aesthetic requirements. We've already finalized everything, seating charts, color schemes, photography angles. I'm sure you understand." I looked at Danny, waiting for him to stand up for me, to defend the woman who'd sacrificed everything for him. But he just stared at his shoes like a coward. "She's sick," Stephanie continued, talking about me like I wasn't even there. "The whole fragile, cancer patient look, it's going to make people uncomfortable. We want joy and celebration, not this." She gestured me dismissively. Danny finally spoke up. "We can live stream it for you, Mum. You'll see everything from your couch. It'll be like being there." "I don't want to watch my son's wedding on a screen," I said quietly. "I want to be in the room where I belong." Stephanie's smile turned predatory, actually. "We've been discussing your future care needs. After the honeymoon, we should explore some excellent facilities, clean, professional, specialized care for people in your condition." The words hit me like ice water. "You mean a nursing home?" I said flatly. "Don't be dramatic," Danny snapped. "We're trying to be practical here. You can't keep guilting me into taking care of you forever." Then he delivered the final blow. "This is exactly why Dad left you." The room went silent. 23 years of love, sacrifice, and devotion, and he threw it in my face like a weapon he'd been saving for the perfect moment. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat down slowly, my hands trembling in my lap. The tea grew cold. The lemon bars sat untouched. Stephanie headed for the door. "We'll send pictures," she called over her shoulder. "Let us know how the treatments go." Danny kissed the top of my headscarf. It felt like a funeral gesture. "Love you, Mum? You know that, right?" After they left, I stood at my window and watched their luxury car disappear down my street. Then I whispered to my empty house, "Thank you for showing me who you really are." Everything became crystal clear in that moment. I reached up and adjusted my headscarf, not to hide my shame anymore, but to hold myself together. Because I had work to do. And my ungrateful son was about to learn what happens when you throw away the one person who loved you unconditionally. I didn't spend that night crying or cursing God for my circumstances. Instead, I sat in my favorite armchair, wrapped in the old quilt I'd made when Danny was in elementary school, and I planned. The house felt different somehow, not empty, but expectant, like it was waiting for something momentous to happen. My breathing was laboured from the chemo, but my mind was crystal clear. I thought about all those years of working multiple jobs, saving every penny, building something for his future. I remembered the day he'd come home from school, excited about a field trip he couldn't afford. I'd worked overtime for 2 weeks to pay for it, eating nothing but pasta and canned soup. All the time he'd wanted guitar lessons, I'd taken on weekend cleaning jobs at the church to make it happen. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every dollar saved, all for the boy who just told me I was too ugly for his wedding. Well, he was about to discover just how ugly things could get. I slowly made my way to my bedroom, every joint aching from the treatments. My small house felt enormous now, echoing with memories of better times. In my closet,